Hello, good morning. Welcome to Shackleford Common, Heath. Anyway, we are busy socially distancing ourselves on a common. Welcome to the end of the world, part 3. It still hasn't ended. The sun is lovely. It's nice to get out. We thought we'd do a walk in the morning today, and then we got the afternoon at home. We don't have to go anywhere. There's a small person here who's staring at me. Do you have anything to add? Okay, that's enough. Once we're down off the ridge, it's probably going to be a bit more sheltered and a bit warmer, so it should be nice down here. There are some big lakes. This is further round on Putnam Common. You can do some nice round walks here, and as you can see, it's very wooded, which is handy to protect you from the wind in the winter, but also it's very handy to protect you from the hot sun in the summer, so it's very nice. Rhododendrons, what have you, should be out in a couple of months. And it's sufficiently far away that you don't see too many people. Well, the car park's quite busy, to be fair, but the common's quite big.
Welcome to another episode of Toby's Stupid Vlog.
Hi there, happy Sunday. We're just going for a walk. We are continuing Walk All Over Cancer, 10,000 steps a day. It is currently doable under government guidelines. You can do exercise as long as you maintain proper social distancing, which we are doing. And so we're going for a walk today whilst trying to avoid members of the stinking public. So I think I'll put this out on Twitter, but my advice to you all, imagine that everybody has this virus, and that there's a fairly good chance it will kill someone in your family. Then consider your actions accordingly. How close are you going to go to someone? What are you going to do? Are you going to get on public transport? No, I don't think so. So that's my best advice to you. Everyone you see is infected. It is a beautiful day and we're stuck at home because the whole world is. I didn't show you the repainted balcony. Now, on this camera you're probably thinking it looks exactly the same colour, but it's not. So it was this sort of weird purpley lilac-y colour, and this is just a straight grey. I've just painted it grey. And it looks a lot nicer, and everything's been redone, been nicely finished. I planted loads of seeds here, they haven't come up yet. There's still some decorating going on. The small person is currently asleep. I'll show you. Not surprising, because she got up at 5:30 this morning ready for the day. So she's having a nap. I wish I could sleep like that. It's amazing. There's the chaos that she's left out of the kitchen. So we're going to go for a walk when she wakes up and finishes her milk. Although it's becoming increasingly difficult. So here's the next topic of conversation. COVID-19. It's taken over the world in a bad way. Lockdown is inevitable, but at the moment you can go for a walk as long as you remain 2 meters from people. This is very tricky in some places and on some pavements. Kew is closed for the first time I can ever remember. And they're threatening to close Richmond Park, which is very bad because people are not listening to the government's advice. Now, there's a number of reasons for that. The first, and I think most important reason, is one, people are arseholes. And if you think that's harsh, you haven't been out and about. But I think secondly, and equally importantly, is the fact that the government has given poor, wishy-washy advice from day one, and then claimed to be evolving it, but actually just been changing its mind. The evidence hasn't changed. The government's position has changed. they screwed up at the start and they're trying to rectify it, but they're doing it in the most half-assed way possible. They're going to have to lock it down and they're going to have to do it soon. But as long as it is not locked down and I stay 2 meters away from people, I'm going to still go for a walk. The reason being is it's perfectly safe if you're not near anyone and you don't touch anything. Problem is people are not listening to that critical piece of information. I'm still doing 10,000 steps a day for Walk All Over Cancer, link here. I do hope you'll sponsor me. Cancer patients are some of the most susceptible to this virus, especially if they're on chemo. So these charities need your money like never before. Now, I'm aware that finances are going to be difficult for people. They may not be on their full salary. They may not be at work because of this. They may be self-employed like myself, and there's little or no work out there. But if you can give £1, £1, that counts. So that's all I'm asking. £1 on that link. Thank you very much. Baby, what are you doing with the remote? Press the channel.
Kids channel. Oh, it's cloudy outside.
So behaviours are a bit better today. The M&S car park is not rammed. People are queuing 2 meters apart outside Boots. There's still a few people who don't seem to think you need to be 2 meters apart when walking past you on the pavement, but I think the last 48 hours have been really transformative in terms of people's behaviours, and it's very hard to change behaviours in such a short period of time. It doesn't matter what the consequences are, people don't naturally want to change. So I think this is very promising. We're only going into supermarkets one person at a time ourselves because there's not room for bystanders and onlookers. So Crystal's in there at the moment. We're just walking the car park. It's such a beautiful day. We're thinking about going out tomorrow, but only if we can go somewhere where nobody else will be. That is the criteria for all of our going out, is not to go anywhere where other people would be. We have a place in mind. I'm not going to tell you where it is because I don't want you to be there. I don't want you to know about it because I would like no one to be there, even when this thing's over. But we might go there. We've been there before, and there's never one car drives past you every half an hour. It's amazing. So that's our plan, just to be outdoors, get a bit of fresh air and be away from the world, because bizarrely we're less likely to run into people if we go out there than we are if we stay in our flat, because just to leave the front door you've got 8 other flats using the same corridor, so it's quite tricky to be 2 meters away from people. Anyway, that's the update as it stands. Things not related to the virus update. There's not a lot going on at the moment. I've cancelled my birthday. I'm going to remain 39 until 2021. It's the right thing to do under the circumstances. You know, tough sacrifices and all that. And what else? There isn't a lot else because we've got nothing else. Nothing's in the diary anymore. We have an empty diary, so that's a bit odd. Although all of the baby classes for this one are going to be online, so we can start doing them from the comfort of our living room. It's another beautiful day. It's the first day of the UK's half-assed lockdown, but most people seem to be obeying it, which is good. You're allowed to go out for supplies, go out for a walk once a day, and M&S actually have a one in, one out policy. It's properly policed. There's every other till is closed to stop people getting too close, and they are they got people on the door to stop people going in when it's too busy, and people seem to be respecting the idea of only buying one of everything. So, you know, this is Richmond though, so people are a bit better here, but because they have more, so they don't need more. But yeah, and they have the first hour of the day is dedicated to key workers, so that's good. So I know I said habit changing is hard, but It seems like people are coming round, possibly a week too late, but people are coming round to the idea. So it's promising. We've come out for our daily government mandated exercise to Richmond Park. It's lovely. Obviously there's a lot of people, but they are all doing as they've been instructed. And it's so clear. You can see the way, am I looking north? Yeah, I think so. It's beautiful. That's Vauxhall that way, if you zoom in a bit more. That's Vauxhall towards there, and then as you come around here, I think you're looking up towards Primrose Hill, what have you. It's quiet and peaceful and lovely and warm. Good place to have a sleep. Deers are loving the new pedestrianised park. Quite young. Hello, happy Thursday. Hope you're staying safe and washing your hands. We are here for today's government sanctioned walk in Gunnersbury Park, which is very nice. Although this bit is really a sports field, but I'll show you the interesting bits when we get round there. I have been here once before, about a year ago when I was working on the Wimbledon documentaries. This is Princess Amelia's bathhouse. There's Her Majesty herself. This is just woken up. The old bathhouses, all built. Well, the Princess actually tells you I should go and show you the plaque. Well, the history of them. It's very sort of neo-Gothic, interesting. It's all part of the interesting fabric of Gunnersbury Park. That's the small mansion here that is currently collapsing slightly. It's hopefully going to be refurbished soon. They've got a bit of money, but not a lot. And then these are the little gardens of the bathhouse. Because obviously after you've had a bath, you need to have a little walk, I guess. There you go, it's easy for you to read it than me to say it. It's nice, isn't it? I want a bathhouse and a picnic house. I want all the kind of a house for every single thing you can think of doing. Hi there, it's Friday. It's the end of the week again. The end of the world is ongoing. There's nothing you don't already know. Our government's handled this poorly, but compared to the Americans, we look like geniuses. And there's now formalised queuing systems outside supermarkets and pharmacies, and the emergency legislation has been passed by the British government, which gives the police the power to send people home if they don't think they've left the house for a good reason. There's 4 particular good reasons, which are helping the vulnerable, buying food, going to work if you absolutely have to because you can't work from home and you're a key worker, and or doing exercise, which you can do once a day. Yes, that is what the end of the world looks like. It is a Friday, so I should do a word of the week. And should we do quarantine? I don't actually know what quarantine is, so I'm going to have to look it up. But let's do quarantine as word of the week. Seems appropriate. So quarantine is the word of the week. First of all, in German, the quarantine is, get out the wind, the quarantine is die Quarantäne. Die Quarantäne. That is quarantine in German. Germany's handling this quite well because it's actually testing everyone properly. So they've got a very high level of people with reported cases, but they've got a very low death rate. So we're going to get the opposite end of the spectrum, because that was quarantine in German, and now we're going to do it in Italian, which is la quarantena. La quarantena. So that is quarantine in Italian. Now the Italians, as you may know, handle this terribly. Part of the reason is they didn't lock things down early enough, and they think that one of the big spreads actually came from a football match that everyone was watching when in Bergamo, Atalanta beating Valencia, and Atalanta never got to the knockout late in the knockout stages of the Champions League, and it was such a big deal that everyone got very excited. There were people in the streets and hugging each other and kissing and all sorts of things, and they think that that actually spread it very quickly in the space of 24 hours. So there is the opposite ends of the spectrum. That's quarantine in German and Italian, and that was this week's word of the week.
Toby's stupid fun.